Join me and my special guest, Lukas from the UK, as we preview the Barclays World Tour Championships on this week's Phil Naessens Show, presented by Swag Screen and Textile. Swag for all your screen and textile needs.
Welcome to the Phil Naessens Show!
It wasn't wrong this time.
The ball just came up all over the
No, it was a bit of a spread, Mr. McEnroe. That was a good one.
Excuse me?
That was a bit of a spread.
Look, you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.
1.6 seconds. They have one man back, and that's Brown. Corey's going to go ahead with quick hands. McTavish will have to nullify it. Here it is. The waiting is over. The New York Rangers are the Stanley Cup champions.
Back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen. Oh, doctor.
On Sunday, November 20th, the top 8 men from the ATP Tour will begin the season-ending Barclays ATP World Championships. Joining me to preview this event is our friend Lukas from the UK. Lukas, welcome to the Phil Naessens Show.
Hey Phil, it's great to be back.
It's great to have you back. How you doing, man?
Yeah, everything's been fine, thanks.
And how's school?
Oh yeah, it's been great, thank you. I've really been enjoying the new school year.
All right, good for you. And how's your tennis? Are you still playing tennis?
Oh yeah, of course I am. I'm trying to play as much as I can, but obviously I can't play as much as I was because it's becoming dark early and the weather's getting a bit grotty.
All right. All right. Okay, Lukas, on your last appearance, you told us that this was your favorite tennis tournament. Can you remind the listeners why this is your favorite tournament?
Only because it's really the most competitive tournament. It's not as prestigious as Grand Slams are, but it's, I mean, come on, 1,500 points is a lot, and the top 8 players, it's a big tournament, and that's exactly why, because it's so competitive.
Okay. I'll tell you what, the singles, here's another reason why it's a big favor to the players. Just to participate in this tournament, you get $120,000. Just for
really?
Yeah. And for an alternate, you get $70,000. You get 70 grand for not even playing. Now, in order for these guys to get the full 120,000, though, they have to play each round robin. So if they play 3 round robins, they get the 120,000 bonus. Plus each win they get 120 grand. The semifinal the guys who win the semis win 380,000 bucks. The final winner wins 770,000 bucks. So if you're undefeated and you're undefeated, the winner receives a whopping $1,630,000. And that's pretty good,
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now check the doubles out here. The doubles for the alternates, the 2 teams that are alternates, they get 25,000 each team. So that's 12,500 apiece. It's still a lot of dough to sit and watch tennis. Now, and their participation fee is 65,000 bucks. But in order to get that, they have to play all 3 matches in the round robin. If they play 1 match, they get 30,000. The second match, they get 50,000, and then the third, they get 65,000. That's a lot of dough. and then it's $22,500 for a round robin win, $30,000 for the semis, $125,000 if they win the tournament, and $287,500 if they win the entire thing and go undefeated. That's a lot of money, dude, don't you think?
True, yeah.
Sheesh. A lot of money. It's incredible what they get paid these days, isn't it?
Yeah, back in those days, you get paid peanuts.
Well, back then it was a different issue, too. But back then, you know what? Back then, the big thing is that still was a lot of money what they got. Right? What these guys received in the 70s was still quite a bit of money for the 70s. You know, they weren't living poor. Okay, so what we're going to do here, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to preview this tournament, and Lukas and I are going to go through the players, and then I have a question that a very special listener asked me, and I'm going to read that question right now. Is that all right, Luke?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, let me connect to my Facebook here. This listener sent me a message on Facebook, and we're going to listen to the question, and then I will answer that question for this person at the end of the program. How's that, Luke?
Oh, yeah, cool.
This way she has to listen to the entire show. Okay, here we go. On your show, you rarely, if ever, talk about tennis. But for argument's sake, the top eight males playing next week, which two players do you see in the finals, and in how many sets? Tough question, eh?
It's a tough question, but I've got a couple of
okay, and we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, of course, so do I. And Abby, we will answer your question at the end of the program. Now, Lukas, we have 8 of the top players in the game playing in this tournament.
Great, especially that's in the UK.
What's that?
Especially that's in the UK.
Yeah. Okay, well, either way, wherever it is. Okay, wherever it is, the top 8 guys in the world are playing, and what we have here are the following gentlemen. I have to pull this up real quick. We have Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Andy Murray, Roger Federer, David Ferrer, Joe Wilfried Tsonga, Tomas Berdych, Marty Fish, and the 2 alternates are Janko Tipsarevic and Nicolas Almagro from Spain. Those are the alternates, so those guys are going to get some cash just for watching. And then we have the doubles, and we're going to just mention these guys. Is that all right, Luke?
Yeah, no problem.
Bob Bryan and Mike Bryan, Michael Lordra and Nida Zimovic, Max Murney and Daniel Nestor, Mahesh Bhupathi and Leander Paes, Rohan Bopana and, forget about him, Kowershi. I can't even pronounce these guys. Robert Lindstedt and Horia Tikau, Jorgen Melzer and Philip Peschner. And then we got Freistenberg and Malachowski and Eric Butarek and Juan Julian Roher. Now, in the doubles, do you know anything about the doubles, Luke?
Yeah, I've actually read a bit about them.
Okay.
And I have the clear, especially, like, the top 7. 1, 2 of them I know a bit about, but apart from that, I'm quite clear with them, yeah.
Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just, what do you think? Bob Bryan and Mike Bryan are the world #1 doubles team. They're from the United States. Wouldn't you say that they got a pretty good chance of winning this entire tournament?
Yeah, definitely. Great players. They've clinched for the 8th time they've clinched the end of year world #1. Great thing. Won 2 slams this year. Big competitors. I know that. But I think they definitely, in my opinion, are favourites. But the only problem is, if someone like Murney starts and Nestor, as a team, if people like them start serving cart like they can, there could be a bit of trouble for these two. But definitely, I'd see them first. Yeah.
Well, they are seeded first. You know who a team I like is Bupati and Leander Paes. I played against them about 20 years ago. So, I mean, they've been around a long time, these two. These guys, Leander Paes and Bupati, were #1 in the world before you were born, Lou. And they've reunited. And they have a shot. But I'll tell you what, we're going to make that prediction, and we're going to say that Bob Bryan and Mike Bryan will probably walk away with the Barclays World ATP Tour Doubles Championship. Now let's get on to the singles, guys, okay? Let me pull this up for you. I have this thing called a media guide. Lucas, you ever heard of a media guide?
No.
A media guide is what people like me get sent with all the information for the tournament. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So now you understand.
Right, cool.
So I have to, it's in a PDF file, so I have to pull it up. Just hang on a second.
Cool.
Okay, here we go. Hold on here. My goodness. Okay, the #1 player in the world for 2011 is Novak Djokovic. All right, he had an amazing 2011. Listen to this.
Yeah.
He's won $10 million this year. He's only played in 14 tournaments, and he's 69-4. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, he's 69-4.
Great.
What do you think about Novak Djokovic?
This man is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, now I'm thinking this is his best year by far. Comparing it to Federer's best year, so close. Probably about equal. And Federer, his best year was amazing. But Djokovic is just proving. With this year, I know Djokovic only has 4 slams, but he's just already proved when he was at his very best this year that he has to be one of the best players. Probably I'd say he's 7th, 8th best player of all time, because he's just proved to be amazing. And but the only problem I'm having at this moment of time is he's pretty badly injured, but he needs a miracle to come so he can start playing like how he was in Madrid or Rome. And if he does, he's going to go away with this fairly easily. So yeah.
And so that's what you think, eh? Okay, well, I think with Novak Djokovic, I don't think he's going to make it through the 3rd round of the round robin. I don't think he's going to last 3 matches. I think his shoulder's shot. I think when he changed his service motion around from the pizza waiter motion to more of a traditional shoulder turn, that's what he used to do, and that has taken its toll. This is a guy who's 6'2" and only weighs 176 pounds. That's 80 kilograms. That's not a very big boy. And to make that such a drastic change, and he's not the hardest working guy in the gym, you know what? That spells trouble. If I were him, I wouldn't have even shown up. He has nothing to gain from this being in this tournament, and everything to lose, because if he gets hurt and really seriously hurts his shoulder, what happens for next year? He's got a lot of points to defend, and I'm not so sure he's going to be able to do that unless he's 100%. So that's my opinion on him. But I'll tell you what, he's the first player other than Federer or Nadal to finish #1 since Andy Roddick did it in 2003. Can you believe that? That's 3 guys since 2003 have dominated the men's tour. And then he became only the 3rd player since 1990 to win 30 or more ATP World Tour Masters 1,000 matches in a season, as he compiled a 33-1 match record in the Masters Series tournaments. That's incredible. Right. Don't you agree?
I know. I think it's great.
Okay, and then he's... Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just next year shouldn't return to Cincinnati because it's obvious he doesn't like heat.
That's what happened, eh? Well, let me tell you another one. He won his first 7 tournaments last year. The Australian Open, Dubai, Indian Wells, Miami, Belgrade, Madrid, and Rome. And he had a 41-match winning streak until he lost to Roger Federer at Roland Garros. Okay? Let me tell you something. That's a lot of points to defend. So I don't know about Cincinnati. I don't think that's where it didn't matter when it happened. It was going to happen, Lukas, because when you change from a very poorly technical serve to a much more technical serve, especially when you're 23, 24, and you've been serving like a pizza waiter your whole life, it takes its toll, dude. It really does. But we hope for the best for Novak. And now let's move on to Rafael Nadal. He's the number 2 seed in this tennis tournament. What do you think about our friend Rafael Nadal? He played 16 tournaments, and his record is 66-13. Most guys accept that. He doesn't. And he was 23-3 in the Grand Slams. What do you think about Rafael Nadal?
You know, Phil, I know you like him more than Djokovic, but you have to accept that he's not going to win this tournament. Being beaten by some German guy in the 3rd round of the Shanghai Masters just proves that he's weakening so deeply. And his serve's transformed since 2009. Like we really saw that in 2010. But he's nowhere near as good as he was last year. And you can just tell he is hurt, really badly injured, and he's just not going to make it. You just have to accept that. Sorry, Nadal fans, but if you know about tennis, you might be able to accept that this is what's going to happen. It's not going to go well for him at all.
Okay. And folks, I apologize for the noise in the background, but there is a big soccer match here in Greece, and they're all watching it, and they're getting a little wild, and that's okay. We don't mind that at the Phil Naessens Show. But let me tell you something about Rafael Nadal. I think that what you said is that his serve went backwards this year.
Yeah.
Well, it's not what the statistics say. In fact, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, okay? Because I'm going to make a couple points about tennis here tonight for the fans. How's that sound? But
good.
About this serve, because in fact I think that you're incorrect. I think this was his best serving year of all time. The problem is, Lukas, is that the season lasts 11 months. Now, he's only played 16 tournaments, which is basically nothing. Okay, that's 4 majors and 12 other tournaments. That's nothing, all right?
Yeah.
But his body's breaking down. I mean, he's been banging it out for a long time. Even though he's only 25 years old, he's been banging it out for so long, and I don't see Nadal winning that tournament. I just can't see him winning that tennis tournament.
You agree with something?
I don't believe – I'm not a big fan of Rafael Nadal. I think he's a great person. That's my thing with him. I think he's a fantastic representative of the game of tennis. But
I think so as well.
What's that?
I think so as well.
I thank you, because you're absolutely correct. If I have junior tennis players, I point to Rafael Nadal before I point to a lot of these guys. But the bottom line is here's what he did in June. He captured a record-tying, with Borg, 6th Roland Garros title and 10th overall Grand Slam triumph. He's got a 45-1 mark in Paris. And he's won at least 1 slam title for 7 straight years. That's huge, dude. That's huge. You know, Djokovic hasn't done that yet. Okay, that's huge. Really huge. Now, I think that Nadal possibly, if he can survive the 3 rounds, because you're playing against the top 8 players in the world. This isn't a tennis tournament like a Grand Slam where you get to play against, say, somebody that's a lot lower ranked than you. So he's got to put it together pretty quickly. If he gets through those first 3 rounds healthy or somewhat healthy, he's got a shot to make it to the semis, and possibly he's got a shot to make it to the finals. I don't see him winning this tennis tournament, though, Lukas. I really don't.
I think so as well.
Good. We're on the same page, eh? That's pretty good, dude. All right, here we go. Here's your guy, man. Andy Murray, number 3.
Oh, well, I know last time was a bit negative about him, but I've just been watching him ever since semi-finals of the US Open, and his confidence rose sharply, and you can just see he humiliated Nadal 3-6, 6-2, 6-love in Tokyo. That is, no one does that to Nadal, but he did, and he's a great player because he's third in the world. He's overtook Roger Federer. He's in the 17-match winning streak, but Burdick proved too good for him in Paris. But do you know what? He has got a big shot. I tie him with Djokovic, actually. I really do. He's a great player. People just underestimate him because really, if these three players, Federer, Djokovic and Nadal, did not even exist in the game of tennis, trust me, he would be amazing. And if he was around when Andy Roddick was number one, he would definitely won a couple slams and race well number one. I really do think that.
Okay, I disagree with you there. But here's the thing. This year, Andy Murray played 17 tennis tournaments. He's 56-12.
Yeah, it's great.
But here's the thing. Matches won. He's 10-2 indoors. All right? Seems to be his best. He's 9-1 on grass, but we're not worried about grass. 10-2 indoors, that's not bad. And like you said, he's on a little bit of a roll. He won a couple tennis tournaments down in Asia. You know, a lot of guys don't try very hard down there. They're more interested in picking up electronic equipment for their homes than they are like playing tennis tournaments. And plus, they get big guarantees down there, Luke. You know what a guarantee is, right?
What?
Okay, a guarantee is they get paid just to show up. A guarantee. Money to participate in those tennis tournaments. And those down there, not the Masters tournament, but a couple other ones that he played, of course they get paid to go down there. Why would he fly to Asia? But here's the thing about Andy Murray. He's very dangerous, like you said. Very dangerous. And people, I don't know if they underestimate him so much. I think it's just they don't like him because he's just so surly. And he growls and he's grumpy and he's grouchy. But bottom line is he has the ability to win that tennis tournament. The thing is with him, and I questioned this for a while now, is his left ankle. How bad is that? When he rolled that thing down in Roland Garros, he has not been the same since. Okay, granted, he gets to the semifinals of Grand Slams, and that's great. But here's the thing. It's an 11-month season, and I'm not so sure if that ankle's going to hold up. But if it does, you know what? We might have a shot at him being possibly in the semis, maybe the finals. You know what, this year, though, was his best Grand Slam mark. He was 21-4, and he reached the semifinals or better for the first time in a season.
That's great, yeah.
And 3 of his losses coming to Nadal. So let's not talk about what happens in these minor tournaments. Look what happens in the majors. All right, now here we go. Number 4, Roger Federer, Lucas. Roger is my favorite tennis player on the tour if I had one.
Same here.
He really is. I think he's a legend. You know what?
I think so.
There's no doubt that will go down as the greatest tennis player of all time. Probably the second or third greatest ambassador for the game of tennis. He would be behind Arthur Ashe and Andre Agassi as far as what they've done off the court for the game of tennis. But look at these numbers. This has not been a year that Roger's probably too thrilled about. You know, he was 59-12. He only played in 15 tennis tournaments, and he did not win a major for the first time in a very long time. Now, I don't know about you, but what does that mean to you when you hear that?
I knew that. And, I'm a big fan of his, you know. It's really disappointing, but let's just think about it. First of all, there are 3 reasons why he doesn't rule anymore. First of all, he's 30. That's like being 60 in tennis. Second of all, the courts are much slower. All the courts are playing like clay courts nowadays, and I know he's still good at them on clay courts, but they don't exactly suit him. And third of all, he's got children. What does he care about more, his children or tennis? His children, 1 billion times more than tennis. So yeah.
Okay, but I tell you what, he's on a roll. And he's been playing...
12-match winning streak.
Yep, of course. And he is playing better than he has all season, probably. and he's healthy. And that's a big thing going
Yeah.
into November, being healthy. I don't think very many of these guys are healthy, but Roger is healthy.
That's how-
And he's made this tournament 10 times in a row, which is a big accomplishment in and of itself. And here's the thing. He has won this tournament 5 times, and if he wins this tennis tournament this time, he will have that record as well. This guy's got more records than a record store.
yeah.
It's incredible. All right, David Ferrer, number 5. All right,
Yeah.
let me run this by you. Now, he's played 19 tournaments, so he's actually going out there and playing. People are seeing him. And he's 56 and 17 this year. More importantly, he is 7-3 indoors. In the Grand Slams, obviously, he was 14-4, and he won 2 tennis tournaments, 2 small ones, and he got to a couple finals. What do you like about David Ferrer, and what do you think is going to happen with him?
Oh, I'm actually, if I'm completely honest, I'm a really big fan of this guy because he's just so hard working. He's 28 years old, which is obviously it's taken his toll, but he's a great guy. He just works hard every single day. He never gives up, and he's got a big advantage against people like Rafa because people like Rafa just hitting the really powerful shots. And he's just being defensive and waiting for the right time to just open up and destroy him. Because let's go all the way back to January, Australian Open quarterfinals. David Ferrer smashed Rafa straight sets like 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, something like that. But I think that he's got shot because he's just such a great tennis. And if he serves well, for someone who's 5'9", he serves like a monster. That high, and he's just a great guy, and I would like him to have a couple miracles come to him in this. So yeah.
But what do you think is going to happen, though?
Oh, I don't. If I'm completely honest, he might get to the semi-finals.
Might. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You know what? I like David Ferrer myself, but you know something, and this is just my opinion, and I guess it's just been validated throughout the season. Is that there is a very big difference between Djokovic, Nadal, Murray, and Federer as opposed to the other 4 guys. There's a major difference. These guys are getting to the semis every time they play, and that's an incredible thing. And I mean semis of Grand Slams. I think David, if he gets hot, like you said, he serves okay, you know what, maybe he can make it to the semis. But, man, it's going to be a tough road to go, man. Tough road to hoe, dude. All right, here's a guy I really like a lot, and this is one I kind of talked to you about a few weeks ago. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, the number 6 seeded player. Okay, he has played, Lukas, 23 tournaments. So he really actually plays tennis for a living. He doesn't just show up at the big events. He shows up everywhere. And I'll tell you what, he is 52 and 22. And here's a great stat for you. He's 17 and 4 indoors. And
Great.
And he's 35 and 13 on hard courts. This is a hard court, indoor hard court, and I heard it's playing a little quick. What do you like about Tsonga, and what kind of chance do you think he has?
Oh, he's got an amazing personality, and you know what this guy is? He's got everything. He's got the whole package. He's got the forehand. He's got backhand. He's also really got the serve. He can make something happen. And this year, maybe Masters and stuff, not his greatest, but for Grand Slams, I mean, coming back 2 sets down against Roger Federer and beating the greatest player of all time is pretty amazing. But I think he's got shot, but I don't think he'll make it past the round robin stage.
Okay.
Which is hard for me to say because I really like him, but oh well.
Okay.
He's a great athlete, though.
Oh, he's the best athlete on the tour, I think. You know what, Lukas? You know this already. I like him a lot. And do you remember what I told you before the Paris tournament when we were chatting on Skype? I said, watch out for this kid indoors, right? I'll tell you what, if he gets hot and he serves, he can beat anyone on that tour if he keeps his head together and if he serves like a demon. And he's got that ability, dude. He really does. And he's improved a lot this year. You know something? If there's a dark horse here, I say Song, out of these last 4 guys, Song is the one who could get to the semis and possibly do like David Nalbandian did a few years ago and win this tennis tournament. I like him a lot. I think he's fantastic. He's only 26, so good things could still go on for him. But like I said, that indoor record is sweet, and his hard court record is really good. So you never know, man. You never know.
Wait, just think about Djokovic. He's like a big number V6 on hard court.
Yeah, that's tough. Djokovic is in trouble. Okay, number 7 is Tomas Berdych from the Czech Republic.
Oh.
Now here's a guy who played 22 tennis tournaments, 51 and 21. He's made $1 million and almost $2 million in prize money. He won one tennis tournament in Beijing by beating Marin Cilic. 9-4 in the Grand Slams, so he's won a couple matches there. His record indoors is 7-4, and his record on hard courts is 35-13. And this year, this is a stat for you. He reached the quarterfinals or better in 15 of 22 tournaments and lost in the first round only twice during the year. Once at Roland Garros, which is fair enough because he's not that good on clay, but he lost 9-7 against Stefani Robet. And in Basel, he lost to the Japanese kid, Nishikori, in 3 sets. Otherwise, this kid is in the quarters almost every time he plays. What do you think are Tomas Berdych's chances in this event?
Oh, well, I seem to be saying this for every single player, but I really like him, and he's a great player. He's 6'5" as well, so he can serve like a demon, like Tsonga can. And last year we saw him get to the final of Wimbledon, beating Djokovic and Federer. Great achievement, which just comes to show that he has the potential to make wonders, and he can even beat Rafa this year, considering the fact that he's much more injured than last year. So he's got something coming for him, and he just can make it to the semi-finals. I really do think so, because last year was his debut appearance, I think. But he's been playing, personally, I think he's been playing better tennis than he has last year. Really has.
Okay. All right, the last guy in the main draw, the number 8 seed, the only American in the top 8, Mardy Fish. Now let me run this by you. He played 21 tennis tournaments. He was 43 and 22, and he won one tennis tournament in Atlanta. Now here's his record: indoors is 4-5, and on hard courts is 33 and 16. He's 30 years old. What do you think are Mardy Fish's chances?
I like him. He's good, but to be frank, he's the only major thing. I mean, his backhand and forehand can be good when he's playing his best tennis, but not amazing. And all he needs is his serve to keep him in the game, because I think we all know that he's got quite a good serve. But I don't think he's gonna get past round robin match. I think he's gonna go 1-2 in round robin.
Okay, because here's what I think about Mardy Fish. I think he's tired. You know, he's played a lot of tennis this year. That's a lot of tennis for Mardy Fish. You know, Marty's never been known as a hard worker. And this has been his breakout year at age 30. And you know what? I'm happy to see him in the final 8 in the end of the year. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he can make it through those 3 rounds. He'll stay out there because, quite frankly, that's what he does. He'll stay out there. And he'll pick up the prize money, his $120,000 appearance fee. Maybe he wins a match if he gets hot. But I don't know, man. I don't see him making it in there, and that's too bad. I'll tell you what, that is too bad. I don't like to say these things, but he doesn't have a shot, in my opinion.
Same here.
in my opinion. Now, you know what? Okay, I'm going to pull this up here. Here we go. You know, when you talked about serving, and one of the things that I know that you've trained at my tennis academy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I emphasize the most? What do you practice more than anything when you're with me?
I think I forgot.
Okay, I made that big of an impression, eh? We do a lot of serving here, okay? A lot of serving.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay, yeah, we serve. What's that?
I remember you told me to just because you gave us the key, me, my dad, and my brother in the mornings. I just had to throw the ball and get on the racket.
That's right.
That's all I did.
That's right. I gave you guys a key so you could play at 7 in the morning with your dad. That's right. Anyway, here's the deal. Listen to this. And this is very important for you people out there listening who want to talk about tennis and who want to get better at tennis. Rafael Nadal is in first place on the ATP Tour on second serve points won. 57% of the time, Rafael Nadal wins his second serve. That's an incredible statistic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know who number 2 is? Roger Federer, 57% as well.
So
and when he's serving his second serve for the match, Nadal is 79%. 79% of the time on match point with his second serve, Nadal wins the point and the match. That's incredible. Federer's number 2. Novak Djokovic is number 3 at 56% of the time he wins his second serves. Then we have Janko Tipsarevic. He's in there. He's an alternate, 55%. Ferrer, 55%. And Marty Fish, 55%. Now you see that? 6 of these guys who are in the final 8 or final 10, if you will, win their second service points. You see how important that second serve is?
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Now, listen to this on the aces side of things. There's only 2 guys in the top 10. Joe Wilfried Tsonga. He's number 2. And then you have Nicholas Almagro, number 9, and Murray's number 10. Now, let's get in here with service games 1. Roger Federer wins his serve. Are you sitting down? He wins his serve 89% of the time.
Whoa! I guess those only other percentages are against what's his name, Djokovic and Murray. Then.
Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing. Federer is 70 wins match. If he's serving for the match, he wins 71% of the time.
Although Djokovic.
Okay,
Djokovic. USA.
Okay, yeah, right. He got his serve broke. That's right. But Djokovic, he's number 6. He wins his service games 87% of the time.
That's still really good.
Yes, of course it is. And 73% of the time, when he's serving for the match, he wins. Now, here's another statistic for you. Joe Wilfried Tsonga, 87% of the time he serves, he wins. And 74% of the time, he wins the match. Now, you tell me something about that. How important is serving, Lukas?
Amazingly important, and I knew that.
Yeah, but the point is that these guys just don't win games with big ground strokes. They win. Now look at this. First serve points 1, Roger Federer, number 1. Tsonga, number 3. Berdych, number 4. And then we have break point save. Now listen to this. Joe Wilfried Tsonga saves break points against him 66% of the time. And when he's serving for the match, he holds his serve when he's down a break 74% of the time. Djokovic is 66 and 73. David Ferrer, there's your guy, 66 and 73. Federer down here at number 9, 65 and 71. You know, that's got to play a big part. And then we look at the return game. That's a very important thing, too. Who's the best returner on first serve? Do you have any idea?
Has to be Djokovic.
Nope, it's Andy Murray. He's number 1. He wins points when he returns the first serve 37% of the time. Djokovic is number 2, Nadal number 3, Ferrer number 8, Federer number 9, or tied for number 8. Now listen to this. Break points converted. Now there's your boy. Novak Djokovic is number 2. 48% of the time he converts his break points. And when he's returning against this guy for the match, 73%. Isn't that incredible?
Oh, what? Yeah, that's amazing.
Now here's Rafael Nadal. 47% of the time he converts break points and wins the game. When it's for the match, are you sitting down?
Yeah.
79%. He wins.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Murray's down here at number 5. Ferrer, Berdych. And then the points won returning the second serve. Who do you think is number 1?
I don't know.
Novak Djokovic.
I don't want to say him unless I was wrong.
Okay, followed by Rafael Nadal, David Ferrer,
Nice.
Andy Murray, and then Thomas Berdych is 6th. That's a pretty good stat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
True. Yeah.
Best
Very.
players in the world do the little things better than anyone. Returning serve and holding their serve. That's incredible. You folks out there that are listening to this, if you want to improve your serve, you want to practice your second serve. That's how you do it. If you have confidence in your second serve, you're not afraid to go for your first. Get out there, get yourself a bucket of balls, and practice your serve. Now, Lukas, we have prediction time now. Now, go ahead. Who do you think is going to win this tennis tournament?
I thought we were going to talk about doubles.
We've already talked about doubles at the beginning.
Oh yeah, just timed it. Anyway. Oh God.
Who do you think is going to win?
I put Federer just tied with Djokovic first. The only reason why I'm tying him with Djokovic is because in this tournament everyone gets lucky, and Djokovic can be such a lucky person. Because in the US Open when he was against Federer, 5-3 down, he won 5 games in a row. That's like being 5-love up against Federer, and that just shows he can get very lucky. So I'm putting him tied first with Federer because just Federer's generally an amazing player. And then I go for Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal, I go for Tsonga, then Ferrer, Berdych, then Mardy Fish.
Okay, but who's going to win the tennis tournament? Roger Federer?
Federer between Djokovic. No one else I don't think is going to win it.
Okay, so it's between those two. Okay, but go on a limb, Luke. Tell us who do you think is going to win and in how many sets? We've got a young lady out there that wants to get this question answered. Who's going to win the tennis tournament?
How old is she? Is she my age?
It doesn't matter how old she is. Needless to say, who's going to win and in how many sets? Pick one. Come on, dude. Pick one.
Djokovic.
Okay.
No, sorry. Djokovic will win in 3 sets against whoever he's going to be against.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Now, Abby, you've asked me this question, and I told you had to listen to this show. Here we go. I'm predicting that Wilfried Tsonga will win this entire tennis tournament, and he will beat whoever he plays in the final, if he plays in the final, and he will win in straight sets. 2 sets in a row. Bang, bang. It's going to end up very quick. You know what? Very quick. Lukas, man, what a great time I had with you tonight. Thanks for coming on my show, dude. Did you have a good time?
Definitely, and I'm definitely really, because I'm excited that this tournament's in the UK because I live here, which is great. And I'm going to try and watch as much as I can, and I'll keep in touch with you. And anyone who wants to follow me on Twitter, because I haven't tweeted for ages, because I haven't really thought that anything's been important. But now things are getting quite important, I'm going to start tweeting again. And you can follow me at S47 Lukas. And yeah, Phil, I'll keep in touch with you, and it's been great being on the show.
Terrific. Lukas, I'm so happy that you were here. I'll tell you what, and that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of the Phil Naessens Show. Special thanks once again to my buddy Lukas from the UK. Man, what a brave little dude, man. He's only 9. Can you believe it? All right, next week, we're going to have a big time out there. Big time. We have Tom Hannon from the baseballpage.com. He's going to be joining me. We're going to talk about his brand new website as well as a little hot stove baseball. Until next time, you all out there, you have a happy Thanksgiving next Thursday, and we will be back on Friday with Tom Hannon. Get out there and watch that ATP tennis if you can. All right, have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Good night.